How's it going, everybody? This is Rene with Neptune Cigars, and we're back at the PCA in Las Vegas 2024. I'm standing here with the man himself, Jorge Padron. It is such an honor to be here with you.
Thank you, Rene. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
So without any further ado, I think right off the bat, we should probably jump into the latest and greatest, which is right here behind us.
Yeah, so here we have, this is the 60th anniversary cigar that we're producing to commemorate our 60th anniversary, which will actually occur on September 8th of this year. It's a beautiful box of 10 cigars with individual cigar boxes for each one. The size is a 48 by 56 by 6.5. It's a Solomon shape, so it's a figurado. It's actually only the second figurado that we've ever made in terms of those odd shapes. Very difficult cigar to make, and we're going to have it available in natural and maduro. So, you know, that's the plan.
And September 8th, that's a special day, right?
Oh yeah, September 8th is the day, the first day that my dad ever sold a cigar. So we actually celebrate that as the anniversary of the company.
That's incredible. It seems like yesterday that the 50th year was coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we don't, you know, our company doesn't really introduce a lot of new cigars every year.
Right.
So we only do it when there's a special occasion, something that'll add value to our brand and it celebrates a significant milestone. So that's what this does.
Nice. No, and the presentation is just beautiful. What is this going to be limited to as far as production? Is there going to be a limited batch or?
Well, it's always limited. I mean, with these types of cigars, like many of our other ones, very small production. And again, we're already in production of these cigars. It's just a matter of assembling everything and getting the inventory to be able to distribute, at least to have some product out in the marketplace by September 8th.
Right.
So.
Awesome. Cool. And then another thing that's on people's minds is the Legends cigar. When? Well,
the Legends cigar is we've already received some boxes and we have shipped some to some retailers. Okay. And now this is an ongoing process where we'll be receiving cigars both Fuente and us. So as we get them, we will be sending them out to retailers all over the country.
Right. And then for those who might not know, last year I actually spoke to Carlito, and he gave a nice heartwarming story about the whole relationship that you guys have, the companies. You know, is there anything you want to like maybe elaborate on with that?
I mean, there's a lot of things that are important about that project. Obviously, number one, that this is about family. Our family and the Fuente family have many things in common. We obviously had a patriarch that was very instrumental in the development of our companies and who were visionaries in our industry. So, you know, for me to be able to have a product that I can make in honor of Carlos Fuente is not much more than an honor. I mean, it is something that to me is very dear to my heart because I respected him tremendously for not only for his accomplishments in the cigar world, but also just in general, just for the type of person that he was. So I think Carlos obviously feels the same way about my father, and you know, being able to put this project together to celebrate all of these good things that are important in the cigar business, which is a sense of family, which is really what permeates throughout the whole project. It's also a good way for our younger generations to see the camaraderie that is shared in this industry. So
yeah, and it's not always a competition. You know?
No. There's a lot of respect here, you know, between the companies and what each of us do. So.
And there's one thing, speaking of both of those brands, when I think of consistency, two brands usually come up to mind, which is Arturo Fuente and Padron. So what can you attribute that maybe makes your cigars so consistent? Because my customers at the store, they rave about how every time they pick one up, it's going to taste the same, it's going to burn the same. Yeah. How do you guys do it?
Well, that's a loaded question. I mean, there's not one thing that I can say is what makes it consistent. This is a product that is very labor intensive, you know, subject to you know, the environment, you know, when we're growing tobacco. So, you know, the important thing is to be consistent in how you manufacture the cigars, to always you know, the attention to detail at every step is critical, because every single part of the process needs to be executed the right way in order to end up with a product that
you can't cut corners.
You can't cut corners. You can't cut corners, and you need to understand the product itself, like how all these things are going to affect the final product. So again, it's just attention to detail at every stage of the game. So
awesome. Now, for some people might know, last year you guys had a booth at Formula One.
yeah.
Yeah. You were the only ones there. Are you going to repeat that today or this year?
That's the plan. We plan to be there again this year and have our presentation of cigars and everything.
Is there some kind of connection with that? Like, are you a fan of Formula One?
Actually, I am.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Formula One. The sport is incredible. So, and it also is a great place to smoke cigars.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
There's a lot of things in common here with these things. Right. A lot of people that come that like to smoke cigars. So.
Yeah, so you can catch the Padron booth there again this year. And last but not least, I would like to end on a open-ended question. So next year, as you may know, we're going to be doing this in New Orleans, God willing, instead of Las Vegas. So with that change is the name of the game here. If you can change one thing about the cigar industry, anything at all, what would it be?
Well, that's an interesting question. I've never been asked that before.
And I've heard all kinds of responses so far.
Yeah. I wouldn't say necessarily change anything about the cigar industry. I think that for the most part, most of the manufacturers understand what this industry represents and what it's all about. Everybody's fairly, responsible, and I think there's a deep sense of appreciation for what we have here. This is it's like a little gem. The cigar industry is a beautiful, premium cigar industry is a beautiful industry.
Yes.
It's all about family, both at the retail level as well as the manufacturing side. The biggest problem that we have and the things I would like to change is more on how we're looked at by the federal agencies and government. I don't think that they understand or that they have a good understanding of what this industry is all about. So that's the one thing that we've always been trying to work on to change is the perception. How do we get people to understand who we are, what products we're making, how they're made, how they're sold. So those are the things that, this is a generational business. These are businesses that are passed down from one generation to the next. So it would be a shame if, for a lack of understanding, they would put that in jeopardy. And that's probably what I would say is the most important thing.
Yeah, they seem to like to lump it in with cigarettes and with vapes, and it's a completely different animal.
Yeah, and different in all respects, in manufacturing, and how it's sold, how it's, everything.
Everything, Well, that's a great response, though, Jorge.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
It's a pleasure.
All right.
You guys heard it here first. Stay tuned for the Padron 60 year, September 8th, 60th anniversary. Big deal, guys. All right, and then Legends coming up soon, too, hopefully.
Yep.
Thank you. Stay tuned for the next one. Until next time.